Hello there, folks. This quick video today is going to talk about a way that you can maybe mask a tag when you get a value that's out of range uh, from PLC or something. For instance, in this example, I have a temperature over here that oscillates between zero point 0.0 degrees and 100.0 degrees. And my example is when it's below 20 degrees, I want it to show out of range. And then when the temperature goes above 20 degrees, I want it to show the valid temperature. So let me go over here to Crimson. Here's my database that I'm using. This is one from a class, but if I go to data tags, and I've got a tag here called tempf. It's mapped to some register, a holding register. Perfectly works fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another new tag here. I'm just going to call it tag1 by default. And on this tag, I'm going to go here to the Format tab. And on the Format tab down here where it says General, I'm going to click the Pick button. And I'm going to declare this as a multi-state. I only have two states, but really I'm going to use a multi-state because I want to do this 20-degree thing. I want to show the valid temperature when it's above 20 degrees, and when it's below there, I want to say out of range. So I'm going to choose multi-state, and really I'm going to put down here, I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go to the number 20, which in this case is 200 because it's the formatting. But anyway, 200 is the same as 20. And notice I'm only using two of these, so I'm going to change the states from 3 to 2. 3 is the default. I'll choose 2. Now the next thing is, see if I get my arrow tool to work. You see right here where it says match type, by default it comes up discrete. That means, team, that this tag value has to match these numbers to do something. Well, we want to use a range of numbers between 0 and 20.0 degrees. We want to say out of range. So I'm going to hit the pull down here and choose ranged. And then right here, I'm going to say out of range, for instance. That's what I want it to say when it's between 0 to 200. And then anything above 200, I'm going to delete this text here. I don't need it, so I'll just delete that. Leave that alone from now. Okay, so that takes care of setting up the format. Now, I'm going to click back on the data tab here for my new tag. And it's going to sound weird, but I'm going to map this tag to this guy. Watch what I do. On the left, I click on tag 1. So I'm highlighted on that. You can also see up here it says the same name. I'm on the data tab. So I'm going to go over here to the right side, data tags on the right side, and I'm going to grab the original tempf, and I'm going to drag this guy out here and drop it right here, boom, on the word source. Now notice something weird. This guy went from being blue to yellow. Yellow indicates this is a formula tag. It's a pretty simple formula. It's just equal to that. That's all I did. Okay. So let's go test this. First of all, I'm going to go over here to display pages, and I get this graphic. This is from one of my classes, but I'm going to drag our tempf out here like this, place it there, and I'm going to drag this tag 1 out here like this. And I'll make this guy a little bigger. You're going to notice a couple things here. You're going to notice the 100 here and a 10.0 here. Let me show you where that's coming from. Back at the tag level, whether it's tempf or tag 1, but tempf, on all of the tags in Crimson, you have well, almost all of the tags, you have an option here for data simulation. So if I change this number to say 767, for instance, and if I go to tag 1 and it's not doing anything, I'll leave that alone. If I go back to display pages, notice right now it still says 100 here. When I take my mouse and click on this in the Crimson environment, it's going to refresh. Here I go, 1, 2, 3, boom. There, it shows that 767. This one doesn't have a decimal point, no big deal. Okay, so let's test this out and see if when the temperature is below 20 degrees, if this says out of range, and then when it goes above, does it disappear? Let's try it out. So I'm going to download it to my screen. Let's go look and see here. Give it a second to refresh. All right, look, we're going down. We're going down. Let's see what happens when we go 20. Look at perfect. So we're below 20 degrees. So it says out of range. Now, once it goes above 20 degrees, this is going to disappear. Okay. So what I'm saying now is I want that to show up here instead of the real temperature. So I'm going to go back to here. Let's ponder our thoughts here. What did I just say to you? I want this out of range thing to show up here when it's below 20, and then when it's above 20, I want this to show the right temperature. Okay, so let's double click on this temp F, and you always have somewhere in here, you have a show tab, which means when do you want to show this thing? Well, if you click on the show tab, you have this option here, and you got two methods here, team. You can click the edit button here, which will bring up this small window. And I've noticed in a lot of classes, there's a bug in Windows where this shows up really small, so it's kind of hard to do. So instead, what I'll do is I'll hit the general pull down here, and I'm going to choose complex. Don't get scared. I'm going to do complex. And I'm going to type the word return. Return is spelled like that with an N. And then I'll do open parentheses. And I want to return this when number one, when temperature is above 200 or 20 degrees. So what I'll do, I'm going to grab temp F from the right, drag it right here, boom. I'll do a space, I always do a space. I'll do greater than, equal to, space again, number 200, because there's some formatting. 20.0 is the same as 200 here. Close, parentheses, semicolon. So what this means is if this equation is true, it's going to return a 1, and it's going to show up on the screen. Now, I sometimes, when I do this, this complex code always scares people, so I'll say show temp F when above 200, like that, just so that the next guy who comes along kind of understands what this does. So I'm going to click the OK button. If there's no mistakes, Crimson will take it. 1, 2, 3. It did. Now, if there was a mistake, let me go back and I'll show you what I mean. If I was to put maybe a colon here instead of a semicolon, the Crimson compiler will politely bark at you. So anyway, I'm going to make that correct. Boom. Okay, so according to this, it's only going to show this when the temp is above 20.0 degrees in this case. So that's perfect. So let me double click on this other one, this guy right here. Now I only want this one, let me reiterate, I only want this one to show up when temp is below 200. So I'm going to double click on this guy. I'll go to the show tab. I'm going to do the exact same thing right here. Go down here, choose complex. I'll type return, open parentheses, and this time I'm going to use the same temp F. I know it's not tag one, I'm going to use temp F. Drag it out here, space. I'm going to say less than, space 200, not less than equal, because the other one has the equal sign in it. So I'm going to do just the less one, less than here, semicolon, and I'll say show only when temp F below 220 degrees, whatever. All right, so I'm going to click the OK button. One thing I will do here too is I'm going to get rid of the tag name and just show whatever the text is. So I'm going to go over here to the data tab, and on the data tab right here, team, where it says label and data, I'm going to hit the pull down and choose data value. Boom, there you go. And then I'll click the OK button. There it is. And if I want to get really fancy, I can probably just put this maybe right on top of that guy like that. Well, let's try it. I'm not worrying about complete line and things up right now, but let's go ahead and try it. Let's download it. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. Perfect. It's out of range. Obviously, you would probably add a text box over here that says tag. Let me ponder. I think I can do that. So there, it's working correctly. Let me see about that. Hold on, because that got me intrigued. So if I go here, it's this one here. Notice it's this one here. And I'm going to go data value. Okay, so here's data value. What if I did this? Let me go label and data. Let me choose that there. And then I wonder if I uncheck this label here, uncheck that. And then if I go to one of these tabs, is it format? Right here, label. What was the original guy called? Temp F. So, hey, I can just probably type temp underscore F is in Fahrenheit, enter. click the OK button. And now I bet you, team, I can probably get really fancy and I can superimpose that guy almost right on top of it. You can use your left and right arrow just to move a pixel. Totally got rid of it right there. Oh, let's try it. Ready to shoot the moon? Let's see. Terrible, absolutely terrible drum roll. Let's see what happens. Okay, if we go below, let's watch. I forgot the semicolon. Oh well. No, look at that. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. Anyway, that's one way you could do this. There's probably another way where you could run a simple program where if the temperature is below, it forces the value to some other number and vice versa. But that was just an easy way I was thinking about using the show thing and the multi-state. Just to reiterate, I'm using the multi-state on this tag 1 to show this text when it's out of range. And then I'm using the show commands for those two values. Anyway, got any questions or anything, let me know. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. See you later.